A very warm greetings to everyone. This is Suhasini S, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMD Engineering College. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss about the concept of normalization. In this normalization, we have different types of normalization: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, 4NF, and 5NF. But in this lecture, I'll cover till 3NF. So what is normalization first? Normalization, why we go for this normalization is to organize your database. Okay, to organize your database. How I will organize the database? Then I'll go and minimize check for the redundancy. Redundancy is repetition. Okay, I'll check any repetitions is there. I have to make to organize the data, and I have to eliminate the anomalies. All these things I have to do. What is anomaly is unwanted things which has been happened. So I have different types of anomalies also in this normalization. So probably we'll go for this normalization to organize the data in the databases by minimizing the redundancy and also eliminating the anomalies. How you'll do this normalization then? If I have a larger table, I'll be converting that into a smaller table to normalize using their relationship. Okay. So to the normal form is used to reduce the redundancy from the database. So this is the reason of normalization. So next is I told about anomalies. So some unwanted activities, right? So I have different types of anomalies: insertion anomaly, deletion anomaly, and updation anomaly. Insertion anomaly is when I insert something and that is going to affect my database, and it is going to be it is going to make any changes in my database because of the insertion. That is called insertion anomaly. And similarly, deletion anomaly, if I delete some data and that data is going to change some of the values in my database, that is called deletion anomalies. And updation also, if I update something and that is going to change in the rest of the other values also, and that is called updation anomalies. So now I am coming to the first normal form. So the first normal form should be should have an atomic value. So what is its atomic value is none of the attributes should have a multiple values. So all the attributes should only have a single valued attribute. So if there is the multi-valued attributes are not allowed in the first normal form. So now we'll see the example. See this example, I have employee ID, employee name, phone number, employee state. These are the attributes. When I check this employee phone number, I have two numbers in one single attribute place here also. So this is not supported in the 1NF, which is it is not an atomic value. It should be an atomic value. Now I'm going to do this separately. Give another entry for this phone number. Again, I'll write 14 John, the second number. So similarly, again I'll do 12 Sam, the second number. So this is how you will do the 1NF. So when moving on to the 2NF, 2NF should, when you go and check for the 2NF, it should first satisfy the 1NF. Then I will go and check for the 2NF. 2NF checks that it should not have any partial dependency, that is composite. Okay, so not in, when I take one attribute, that should be completely dependent on one attribute. If it is dependent on two attributes jointly, when I combine two attributes jointly, when then only I'll get one answer. One attribute answer means that is partial dependency. No attribute should have a partial dependency, that I have to check. When you see this example, I have the candidate ID, subject number, subject P. When I take candidate ID, I should get the subject P. But for the candidate ID, I have, if I take candidate ID 111, I'm not going to end up with only one value. I'm going to end up with two values, because when you see that 111 is having a fees of 1000 also, the 111 is also having a fees of 2000. Well, there is a ambiguity here. So now what I have to do, why these two values are coming? So I will go and take another constraint. So 111 subject 1 is 1000, then 111 subject 4 is 2000. When I join these two values only, I am getting the correct answer of what I need. So this is a partial dependency. This should not happen. So to avoid this, I am going to split this table. Okay. So candidate ID and subject number and subject P will be separated. So likewise, you have to check for the 2NF, no partial dependency. Moving on to the third normal form. In the third normal form, it should satisfy the 2NF first. So when I satisfy 2NF, it should also satisfy 1NF. So 1NF, 2NF should be satisfied. And here what third NF will consider is it should not contain any transitive partial dependency. That will be checked here. So no transitive partial dependency is It should not dependent on any, no value should not dependent on any of the non-primary key. It should only dependent on primary key, which means if I want name, name should only dependent on ID. It should not depend on phone number or email ID. If it is going to be dependent on such cases, then I will say it is a transitive dependency. So that such case of transitive partial dependency should not happen in the third normal form. So when I take this example, I am telling my primary key is employee ID. So all the rest of the attributes value should be retried only with the help of this employee ID. But in this example, the zip code, the state, when I want the state, I can easily get from the zip code. Okay, that is a common thing. So this is a transitive dependency, or the state should only be dependent on employee, but the state can also be retrieved with the zip code. So now there is a transitive dependency here. Now what I have to do, I have to scatter my tables. So I have scattered my tables like employee ID, employee name, zip code. So the zip code, if I want the zip code, it's dependent on ID. If I want name, it's dependent on ID. The next table is zip code. So if I want state, state is dependent on zip code. City, it is dependent on both of these. Okay. So likewise, you have to do the third normalization form, no transitive dependency. Your first normalization form should have an atomic value. Second will check for no partial dependency. Third will check for no transitive dependency. Thank you.